Thank you. My honourable colleague's problem is he can't count. He produced some checks, but we were talking about the 11 checks. So enough with the fantasy fictions. How about the facts? We know the fact is the Commission is investigating 3 key meetings with Senator Usakos, meetings with Paolo Catania, Joe Borsellino, a meeting with Bernard Poulain, who is lobbying the government to get Robert Abdullah a key post. Now, Usakos is the Prime Minister's point man in Montreal. He was given a patronage appointment to the Senate. So since taxpayers are saddled with this guy till he's 75, will someone over there explain what has Senator Usakos been doing and why has he been holding these meetings?
Here, here.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Well, Mr. Speaker, instead of attacking an appointment that never occurred by a government that did not have the power to make it, the honourable member should use the time he has on his feet in this House of Commons to explain what he has been doing. After promising 3 times that he would vote to eliminate the wasteful billion-dollar long gun registry, he had the chance to do just that. Instead, he went back on his word, betrayed his constituents, and voted the opposite of what he had promised. Why doesn't he stand and explain that?
The honourable member for Timmins James Bay.
I don't know where the member was. I did stand and explain to all the voters of Timmins James Bay, and we beat the Conservatives by a landslide. We didn't have to buy an election. So let's talk about their attempt and what they told voters. We know now that the calls that were made were identified to non-Conservative voters. We now know that the robocalls went right back to Conservative Party headquarters. So someone on that side must know who's involved. So if we're talking about an organized campaign to suppress the vote, we're talking about breaking the law. So the member put down his little pea shooter over there and stand up and say when this government is going to get serious about holding the Conservative Party to account for voter fraud.
Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
He talks about buying elections, Mr. Speaker. In fact, it was his party that used over $340,000 of illegal union money in successive elections. We don't know for what they used that money. We don't know how many robocalls they bought with it or how many nasty negative attack ads they spent, or if they needed to spend that money to explain away that member's broken promises. But what we know for sure is that he still hasn't explained why his leader tried to cover up that illegal money for so long.
The honourable member.